to Brown University for the first and hopefully last virtual version of our celebration of Brown Employee Appreciation and Recognition Day. Please make yourself comfortable and enjoy the show.
We all know we have had a year of challenge and change, that things look quite different than they did last Bear Day, and that it's not quite over yet. You may walk through an empty campus as you go about your work, or your office may be at your dining room table. You may miss the comfort of familiar faces and spaces, or the predictability of your daily routine. But what has not changed, what has perhaps grown even stronger, is our collective commitment to each other and to the mission of Brown University. Because, you see, we are all still connected. Now, even more so. What a pandemic can do is force us to work in new ways, to separate us physically and create challenges we had not even imagined. But what a pandemic cannot do is break up the community we have all worked so hard to build. You make up the fabric of this community, colleagues who have become dear friends, friends who have become like family, a community we have built, nurtured, and sustained. Together we faced the challenges of the past year head on, and it made our community stronger. We kept the university functioning and afloat during a worldwide pandemic. And now, collectively, we are bringing the university into a future created by all of us as we look ahead toward brighter times. You are the reason Bear Day exists, because of you, all of you. And today, we celebrate you.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Barbara Chernow, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 16th Annual Bear Day Ceremony. This is a day we set aside every year to celebrate the many incredible achievements of you, our staff. And this year, we have a lot of reasons to celebrate. I wish we could all be together in person today, so I could look out into the audience and see your smiling faces. But I'd like to point out that we still are all together, okay, virtually. So today's program will be even more fun and more innovative. You know, there is one smiling face we can all look at now. Many of you will remember Hank Randall. Hank is a freelance photographer who provided services to Brown for 25 years, including taking photos of service awards and Bear Day. Hank retired after last year's Bear Day, and he's calling in from retirement to say hello. Hello, Hank.
Hi, Barbara. Hi, everyone. Thanks for including me in Bear Day, this weird Bear Day, but there you go. I've been shooting you guys for 25 years, but now I get to be part of the act instead. This is kind of cool. I want to say congratulations to all of you who were awardees this year. You guys are amazing. You really are. And I'd like to say hi to all of you who I've seen over the years. I do miss you all, but I'm retired and it's good. So take care. And again, congratulations to all you winners.
Bye, Hank. Enjoy your retirement. Please keep in touch. Listen, everyone, we have a lot of things to talk about and celebrate. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I am pleased to introduce a special guest, Brown's 21st Chancellor, Sam Menkoff. Chancellor Menkoff earned a Bachelor of Arts degree with a concentration in anthropology from Brown in 1978. He was elected Chancellor in 2016, having served on the corporation as a fellow since 2009, and previously as a trustee since 2003. He is co-chair of the Brown Together campaign and chairs the Corporation Committee on Trustee Vacancies. Earlier this month, the corporation passed a resolution of appreciation in honor of Brown staff, which Chancellor Menkoff will share with us today. Please join me in welcoming him to Bear Day 2021. Sam?
Well, thank you, Barbara. And let me just say what a thrill it is to join everyone today to celebrate all that you've done to support and strengthen the university in these most demanding of times. You've met perhaps the greatest challenge of our time with boundless character, courage, and energy, in the doing honoring Brown's highest values. And I'd like to share with you my deepest thanks and best wishes, and the thanks and best wishes of the entire Brown Corporation, by presenting you with this resolution of appreciation for the service of all Brown staff members that was passed at our recent corporation meeting. And it reads like this. Whereas more than 3,000 Brown staff members rose to the unique challenges of a rapidly evolving COVID-19 pandemic, going to great lengths to be flexible and adaptive while constantly imagining and implementing innovative ways to work while supporting the university in navigating an extraordinarily complex situation. Whereas numerous essential staff members have worked tirelessly since the beginning of the pandemic, adhering to new disinfection protocols in our study, living, work, and common spaces, delivering safe dining experiences while maintaining transparency and a high level of service, providing for a safe community while ensuring compliance with ever-changing guidelines, and taking great care to protect the health and well-being of our students. Whereas approximately 70 staff members took on the role of healthy ambassadors, cheerfully motivating fellow campus community members to practice healthy behaviors and follow COVID-19 prevention guidelines. And others participated in the staff temporary project assignment program to support departments with needs that may not have existed before the pandemic. Whereas courses were rebuilt and adapted to changed curricular plans, enhancements were made to classrooms to provide optimal instructional technology, and digital access was facilitated for general and special collection materials not available through other means to support research and the world-class education for which Brown is known. Whereas a new level of accessibility was reached while protecting and caring for the health and well-being of our students, whether on or away from campus. And for the first time, counseling and psychological services were offered remotely. Creative strategies were developed in offering student meal services, including the launch of a virtual ordering platform, providing a contactless dining experience with a personal touch. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of the corporation extend their sincere appreciation to all Brown staff members for their extraordinary contributions during these challenging times, ongoing dedication to supporting students and faculty, and commitment to carrying out the university's mission. Given this 23rd day of February 2021 in Providence, Rhode Island. So let me close again with deepest appreciation, admiration, and every good wish to each of you. And I now turn it over to President Paxson.
So thank you, Chancellor Menkoff, and good afternoon to everybody. I am so thrilled to be here with you to celebrate Bear Day. Like all of our traditions, Bear Day looks different this year, sadly. And I want to offer my thanks to University Human Resources and Media Services and everyone who's worked hard to ensure that we could have this very important annual celebration virtually this year. As you all know, Bear Day gives us an opportunity to once again recognize our years of service recipients, as well as the winners of our Excellence Awards. And the fact that we can't be together in person today in no way detracts from the importance of your accomplishments. In fact, the challenges we faced together over the past year only makes these awards and recognitions even more extraordinary. So whenever I talk about what makes Brown such a special place to work and learn, the answer is very simple. It's the people. Being a part of the Brown family, we share the benefit of a diverse and collegial work environment that values collaboration and professional growth, and it offers everyone opportunities to have a real impact on Brown. Now, I think we can all agree that if we're going to spend 37 and a half hours a week, sometimes more, doing something, We want to do it in an organization where our contributions matter, where they make a difference. And we also want to work to advance a mission that we believe in, that we think is important. I want to begin today by recognizing all of our service award recipients. In total today, we're celebrating more than 400 Brown employees who've reached milestones in years of service. As always, we have many people to recognize who've been with us for 5, 10, 15 years and more. We also have almost 130 employees celebrating milestones of 20 years of service, all the way through an incredible 50 years of service. So we'll take a moment now to recognize each group. We're celebrating those who have been with us for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, for 25 years, for 30 years, for 35 years, for 40 years, and last but not least, for 50 years. Bill Patterson, a senior research engineer and distinguished lecturer in the School of Engineering, is being recognized today for 50 years of service. He started at Brown in 1970, but his journey at Brown began even earlier. He's a graduate of the class of 1963. He earned his master's from Brown in 1966. So I want everybody to join me in giving a special congratulations to you, Bill. Now, this year, we've been talking a lot about adapting and innovating, and we faced some incredible challenges over the past year. We all know that. I've been so impressed by our employees who have continued to exemplify our values, collaboration, innovation, and inclusion amidst these challenges. Today's Excellence Award recipients have done exactly that. They have been part of teams that create goals, execute on plans, improve processes, and innovate in all kinds of ways that we couldn't have imagined a year ago. We have nearly an even split between individual winners and team winners this year. We all know that teamwork in 2020 has been more important than ever, and that's reflected in our award recipients. Now, I'd like to take a moment to highlight just a few of the incredible individuals and teams being recognized. Among those being celebrated for excellence today are members of the Biomed Stores operation for their outstanding efforts in supporting immediate needs resulting from the pandemic. Now, under normal circumstances, this team works out of stockrooms to support the Division of Biology and Medicine with any of the materials that are needed for research. In the wake of the pandemic, they had to transform, and they did transform their operations into an online ordering and delivery system to accommodate ongoing research needs. They supported the receipt and distribution of PPE for the entire Division of Biology and Medicine, and their impact spread far beyond Brown. For several months, they made critical deliveries of hand sanitizer, PPE, gloves, surgical masks, face shields, disposable gowns to area hospitals. And they built PPE kits for more than 50 area labs. Fantastic, fantastic work. Another winner in the innovation category is the Rock Library Access Services and Resource Sharing Team, a long name, but a very important group. And what makes this recognition particularly special is the fact that this team's accomplishments were a direct result of their own desire to find ways to continue to support faculty, students, and researchers, even in a remote learning and working environment. So the team came up with a completely new model for circulation, including contactless pickup. So it's a little bit like what people are doing with restaurants, only with libraries. The staff volunteered to take shifts to locate materials, package them, put them on carts for a 72-hour quarantine to ensure safe pickup of materials. From July through November, the team safely circulated 17,000 books. And meanwhile, the same team learned how to use a new chat system for tutorials, consultations, and teaching models. The team staffed this online chat service from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, even on weekends. Again, an extraordinary accomplishment. There's one final example I'd like to highlight today, and that is an individual, Lieutenant Elena Boucher. Elena is being recognized for her incredible efforts to elevate diversity training department-wide in the Department of Public Safety. So building a supportive, open-minded, inclusive community, this is always a priority at Brown. And it's especially important this year as we deal with the pandemic, as well as the long overdue reckoning that we're having as a community and a nation with systemic racism. Elena's job includes coordinating training programs to ensure compliance with local and federal regulations. And what makes Elena so remarkable is the fact that she continually goes above and beyond to educate and inform conversations about bias, hate crimes, and other very, very critical issues. She partners with underrepresented communities to inform these trainings, and she uses informative and very engaging techniques like role-playing to spur meaningful conversations on difficult topics. She's developed trainings on conflict resolution, gender inclusion, sexual harassment, and practices of nonviolence. So these are just a few of the many outstanding examples of excellence that we're honoring today. And so once again, I want to offer my thanks and congratulations to all of our honorees who are going to be featured today. Nothing about the past year has been easy, but it's because of your hard work that we're able to continue to deliver on Brown's mission. So thank you.
Thank you, President Paxson, and thank you, Chancellor Menkoff. That's a wonderful, well-deserved recognition of Brown staff from the corporation.
Every supervisor I've had at Brown has been so supportive of my professional growth. And if I've ever felt like I've reached my potential in a certain department, they've been so supportive and encouraging of me applying to higher level positions, even if it meant leaving the department.
One thing I really like about Brown, about the people, is that people are really smart and really creative, more than any place that I've ever worked. If you need an expert on something, Brown has it. If you need new ideas or you're looking for different ways to do things, Brown is a great place to be.
I have a quick bartend story. I was at some event. It was like a fancy event at Sales, and I was wearing heels, which I'm not really very good at walking in. And I tripped and I fell on the floor.
Oh.
And there was like people all around, and everybody was just kind of looking at me. But bartend Gregorian came, like he was further away, and he was the one that ran over to me and helped me up. And I just, yeah.
That was nice. While everybody's pointing the finger and laughing at you, he's helping you.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Happy Bear Day! 25 more years.
For anyone who just started here at Brown, it's going to be a good time. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to play a lot. We work hard and we play hard. But Brown makes sure that we are family. We stick together.
I was going to say Brown's all about the community, and that's what I think all of us miss the most.
A good place, full of great people, and great benefits. So it's a blessing to be here, to be honest with you.
I just wanted to thank everyone, especially in this group, because I feel like we've all gone through it together.
Hi, my name is Lori Nascimento, and I've been at Brown for 15 years. If I were talking to somebody new at Brown, I would tell them that working at Brown is more than just a job. It's a community, it's a family. You never have to look far to find a friendly face. I've learned so much at Brown, and I've met so many wonderful friends at Brown, and I'm so, so grateful for that.
I want to thank Brown very, very much for the 35 years that I have, and hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to put in another 35, but maybe a few more years.
One of the things that I wrote in my nomination letter for you for an Excellence Award was that it's just impossible to overstate the heroic efforts that you undertook to reopen research labs seamlessly and safely.
You're gonna make me cry.
And I am so thrilled to report that the university is recognizing you with one of those 6 Excellence Awards.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I almost started crying. I jumped up and down when I got the email. Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
What you're in is a Zoom where we are telling you that you both won that University Excellence Award. And the people here on the Zoom all nominated you.
Wait, they're crazy.
No, we're not crazy. We're not crazy.
I'm very happy to announce that this year, the Biomed Stores Operation Team, Jerry, Lenny, Jim, and Gil have been awarded the 2020 Brown University Excellence Award for Service.
Good job, guys.
So, we nominated you for an Excellence Award from Brown, and you are getting it in the category of citizenship.
Oh my gosh, thank you, thank you. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Wow.
Yay! It's the background. It is so well deserved.
This excellent award is presented to an individual that's demonstrated excellence and commitment to empowering, educating, and supporting staff. At the foundation of the award is the ability to recognize, reward, and foster greater individual contributions and promote team cooperation. I am pleased to let you know that you are this year's leadership recipient of the Bear Day Award.
Yes, oh my God, thank you so much.
So I nominated you two as a team for an Excellence Award for service. It really focused on, my write-up was about COVID, and you were chosen, you won. So congratulations.
Seriously?
Seriously.
No way.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah, I've never gotten a service reward before.
So privileged to be working with you, and we're grateful that the committee selected your efforts as worthy of recognition. And thank you, congratulations.
Jess and I submitted to the Excellence Award Committee a recommendation that you receive the Environmental Stewardship Award, and we just found out that you got it!
Oh my gosh, that's so funny because they had asked me to be on the committee, and then they were like, "Oh wait, you actually can't," and I was like, "Who's?" Who's paying for this? Because George told me to be on the committee. I think he would know if it's on our department. That's so funny. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you deserve it.
It's well deserved.
So Kim, I have some very exciting news. I want to let you know that you won an Individual Excellence Award for service for all the work you did and continue to do on essential designations.
Okay, that is.
Ray won the campus-wide Rising Star Staff Member. Woo woo! In a pandemic.
That's amazing.
Yay.
Okay, I'm speechless.
Congratulations! Awesome job.
You know, we received over 170 nominations from 56 departments this year. It's more than we've ever gotten in one year in the history of these awards. It also made the selection committee's job very, very difficult. This year, Brown Day staff recognition brochure is online and can be accessed through the Bear Day website. Please take a look, and you will get a sense of the incredible accomplishments by our staff. Okay, now let's acknowledge our Excellence Award winners. Brenda Figueroa from the Office of Sponsored Projects won the Citizenship Award. Going above and beyond her role in her department's DAP group, over the summer and fall of 2020, Brenda led the entire OVPR staff through a reflection and education series about diversity and inclusion, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. These events brought staff together to have real, sometimes difficult conversations and suggested ways for making a difference in the local community.
May 25th, 2020 will forever be ingrained in my mind. It was the day that George Floyd was publicly executed by a police officer who kneeled on his neck. I happened to find myself to be the only person of color in my department, in my division, and my colleagues had actually asked me to give a presentation on Black Lives Matter. I wanted my colleagues to know that people of color need allies. We have been disposable for too long, and these presentations that I had given had been welcomed by my colleagues, and I appreciate it, and I love them for that. And I just wanted to make sure that we change the conversation to recruit these allies. So I thank everyone for this nomination, for this award, and thank you very much.
Up next, we have 3 winners who are being recognized for their work in building a more diverse and inclusive campus. Dara Byer from the Transformative Justice Program in Campus Life and Student Services has built the nation's first university transformative justice program. This program focuses on community relationships to protect the safety and needs of survivors. Dara has been called upon as a resource by other institutions, and her work has been featured in national media.
Really honored and excited to be getting the Diversity Inclusion Award. And one thing that I'm really motivated by in my work is getting to work alongside students and really imagining and creating communities of care and support so that we have ways to respond to harm that don't reproduce more harm, and to create options for students to be able to heal and connect with one another in ways that lead to greater transformation and value alignment in their own lives, in the collective lives of their communities.
Lieutenant Elena Boucher from Public Safety. As we already heard today, Elena has done an exceptional job working with minority and underrepresented communities and several university departments to bring diversity and inclusion trainings to DPS.
I learned so much from each one of these projects collectively, including the microgrant project. And if I had to recall a lesson that I learned or an aspect, it would be that no matter how much experience you have, there's always something new to learn.
Next, Yanni Hernandez from Strategic Purchasing, Contracts, and Insurance has played a critical role in a strategic initiative to increase the number of minority-owned business suppliers registered at Brown and to increase the amount of business we do with these minority-owned firms.
For me, winning this award has truly been an honor. It's a passion of mine working around diversity and making everyone feel welcome. I've been part of DAP for around 3 years now, and in that time, I've had the chance to meet different individuals that I usually don't collaborate with work-wise, but get to know them on a personal level. I've enjoyed learning more about different cultures, different experiences that people have had, and DAP just makes that a whole lot easier to do.
Next, we applaud one individual and one team for efficiency. Amy Carroll in the Office of the Vice President for Research, and we'll recognize the Athletics Compliance Office. Amy Carroll developed and implemented the processes that made it possible for Brown's critical research laboratories to reopen after the ramp down in March 2020. As a result of her work, 353 lab plans were approved, allowing more than 1,200 faculty and student researchers to resume research in their labs in June.
Brown's mission is to discover, preserve, and communicate knowledge. And you do that through research in every field of study and in various ways. But a lot of the time, you need to be in person to do that. You need to be able to access your special equipment. You need to be able to get into archives. You need specialized computers that can't work from home over slower internet speeds. You need access to your cells or your biological materials, your specialized chemicals. The list could go on because it's every field you can imagine and probably some you've never thought of, which is what's so exciting about research. Research gives all of society hope. Researchers envision a better future and they work tirelessly to get us there. Researchers envisioned things like the iPhone and all of the many pieces that had to go into it. And it's exactly what we needed, that kind of inspiration about how things can get better, how disease can be cured, how technology can be improved, how we can understand the past even better to inform future decisions. All of that kind of inspirational and creative thinking is exactly what we all needed.
The Athletics Compliance Office will be recognized. Bridget Cahill and Jennifer Miller McEachran kept over 100 coaches up to date with constant NCAA rule changes and emerging COVID regulations. To quote head softball coach Kate Refsnyder, they have been the glue that's held our department together since mid-March.
For me, it was really surprising about this award because we were just doing our job because we had to. It was important for the information that we had was really important to help coaches and student athletes make decisions. Would you agree?
I would agree. I think it was just, you needed to get it done and you're constantly thinking of new ways to send out the information, help your coaches digest it. But, you know, you just worked all hours as long as you had to so that you could get the information out in a timely manner. Because then otherwise our coaches and our student athletes were not informed with the most up-to-date information. And so, yes, that made our lives challenging because the beginning of COVID was just chaos with things changing every single day between NCAA rules or, you know, where the Ivy League was on certain things. And it slowed down a little bit. Now we're getting just regular, steady weekly updates. But in the beginning, you know, it was a lot. And we just had to do our jobs and roll up our sleeves and say, okay, there's just two of us, like, let's just get it done.
Well, I will say that the best thing about this award is that I won it with Bridget because I really do feel like we are a true team. We are very much in sync. And I'm just happy that we're able to get this together.
Now, help me congratulate Jessie Kern from Dining Services for her award in environmental stewardship. Jessie has enhanced our sustainability and nutrition initiatives at Brown Dining. Her work led to increasing the plant-based menu options, which significantly reduces Brown's greenhouse gas footprint. Now that's cool. She created many programs to educate Brown students and staff about healthy and sustainable food choices. Congratulations, Jessie, that's great.
I was really excited to work on this project because of building relationships with key individuals in the Office of Sustainability. I felt like that was one of the most exciting pieces, getting to know some new people and aligning our priorities. And I'm really proud of this project because it brought attention to how individual food choices can really push Brown's goals in the areas of sustainability and nutrition.
This year, we are awarding one individual and won Team Excellence Awards in Leadership. Chloe Poston from the Office of Institutional Equity and Diversity, and the team of operations managers from Facilities Management. Okay, let's talk about Chloe. She oversaw the creation and staffing of the Anti-Black Racism Task Force and is leading the work for our DF Phase 2. Most recently, she assumed responsibility for managing the Healthy Ambassador Program, which trains over 80 staff members from across campus to serve in the important role of helping keep our campus safe. Chloe has proven to be an incredible leader on campus and one of the hardest working employees I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Oh, and by the way, she's a lot of fun to work with too. I also want to take a moment now to thank everyone who volunteered and continues to volunteer as a Healthy Ambassador. Your work is so very important to our Brown community.
I'm so excited to be recognized for an Excellence Award in Leadership. Leadership is incredibly important to me because it shows that I've built strong relationships with people, not only on my team, but across the institution. And that's been so important this year as everyone's grappling with so many challenges related to national racial unrest, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, let's talk about the operation managers from Facilities Management. They led the efforts to improve operations of our residence halls, classrooms, labs, and office areas. They installed touchless restroom fixtures and ultraviolet elevator fans and led an extensive campus-wide HVAC and water systems upgrade project. They also readied several campus COVID-19 testing sites and oversaw the development of over 26,000 wayfinding, de-densification, and social distancing guideline signs across our campus. 26,000, oh my, those statistics are staggering. I encourage you to read about their accomplishments in the program.
Hi, my name is Carlos Hernandez. I'm the custodial manager in third shift. And over the last 3 months, we have disinfected over 3,000 student rooms. The technology that we've been using is called Smart Inspect to ensure quality assurance in each of the student dorms.
Hello, my name is Larry Hicks, Assistant Director of Mechanical, Electrical, Plumbing, and Facilities Management. It was a total team effort to get our buildings ready for return to campus. We followed CDC guidelines, we increased our outside air ventilation, upgraded our filters to MERV 13, created a matrix that we posted to our website, and we deployed 3,500 air cleaners across campus.
My name is Tom Mackey. I'm Manager of Structural Trades and Facilities Management. In preparation for students returning, my team absolutely crushed it against COVID-19. Among many other things, we installed 30,000 signs and over 1,000 hand sanitizing stations on campus, and we're going to continue to crush it until COVID goes away.
Hello, my name is David Paula Nunes, Evening Shift Custodial Manager here at Brown. Over the past few months, we have cleaned and disinfected almost 3,000 student rooms. We have also implemented some new technologies to help us clean. We have the electrostatic spray and the ATP testing kit.
As the president shared with us earlier, we are proud to recognize a cross-functional team from the Rock Library with the award for innovation this year. Every member of the team stepped up to the challenge of reimagining core library services under the constraints of a global pandemic. They devised a completely new service model, which included a distance circulation program, all while maintaining safety protocols and ensuring efficient operations. You know, the selection committee this year couldn't recognize just one rising star. They awarded 3. Abigail Dermaz from the Jonathan M. Nelson Center for Entrepreneurship. From planning high-profile events with a local, national, and international audience to taking on the building operations of Nelson Center's new space, Abby continued to support the growing and thriving local entrepreneurial community. With the move to remote operations, Abby quickly pivoted to a completely new way of event delivery. Not only was she poised and eager to solve the disruptions caused by the pandemic, she also transitioned a major 1,000-person event to virtual delivery within 48 hours notice. Okay, that's incredible.
So the biggest takeaway in transitioning our events and programs into a virtual format was that even more so in this uncertain time that we're all living in, that strengthening our community and camaraderie between students, alumni, faculty, and staff was really key. And it was really something that everyone needed. So when we were thinking through how to plan our events and our programs moving forward after in March, we really had that as a key focus point, and we made sure that that was what we focused on from the very beginning as we were planning. And at the end of the day, that's what mattered most, was the relationships we had with each other.
Let's now recognize Nicholas Green from Residential Life. Nick introduced and implemented innovative changes and streamlined key university housing and administrative processes, vastly improving the residential student experience at Brown.
I want to first say thank you to my nominators, Tim Shiner and Tracy Mansour. It was an absolute honor to be nominated for and to win this award, and this is made all the more special because I was nominated by two people who I held in such a high regard and who do so much here at Brown. When I reflect on the work that I've done in the past year, I truly believe that the key to my success was having a great team around me. I've been incredibly fortunate to have no shortage of amazing colleagues to work with, bounce ideas off, and to encourage me to keep going on particularly difficult projects. While I know that I have many accomplishments in my time here, I also recognize that none of them would be possible without my colleagues in residential life, the division of campus life, and across the university. To close, I want to again thank Tim and Tracy for nominating me, and thank all of my amazing colleagues for the work they do each day. Thank you.
Let's also recognize Trey Alston Swan from the Center for the Study of Race and Ethnicity in America. Trey has significantly improved and transitioned the center's programming to the virtual format. This means very large and complex events, which hosted over 25 speakers, artists, and mixed-type performances, was done over a 3-hour period. He has also significantly improved the center's financial management and strategic planning.
My name is Trey Alston Swan. I am the center manager at the Center for the Study of Race and Ethnicity in America at Brown University. I started this role in March, a few weeks or a week or so before the shutdown. And one of the things that I thought was going to be most difficult was learning my new role, getting to really know my new colleagues at the center, because we weren't in person. And that's really a powerful way to actually establish a connection. But what I found is that things were very seamless. We were able to establish really good relationships via Zoom by virtue of our weekly staff meetings and one-on-ones I had with some of my team members. And I'm just really proud that I was able to do work in a way that was really impactful for the team and for Brown University as a whole. And so I just want to say that I am thankful again for my team at CSRVA. I'm thankful for my colleagues at Brown University, and I'm very happy that I won the Rising Star Award.
Last but not least, I am sure you will agree that the service was a key theme that helped us all pull through 2020. We have one individual and 7 team winners for service this year. Kim Coper from University Human Resources, working closely with multiple departments and individuals, played a key role in ensuring that employees' essential designation and degree of contact information is tracked for approximately 7,000 individuals. This data is critical for supporting our COVID-19 testing and return to campus planning. She has worked tirelessly to review over 400 spreadsheets under tight timeframes and played a key role in designing templates and processes for collecting essential data quickly and accurately.
What I've found to be the most rewarding about working on this project is just seeing how quickly people in multiple departments were able to come together and develop a process. Obviously, this project is really crucial to the safety of the campus community, and just really seeing, like I said, how quickly people in multiple departments were able to come together, develop a process, and then adjust that process, as maybe we ran into some kinks. Everybody was able to come up with creative solutions to work those out. That was really inspiring. I obviously have the good fortune of working with many very smart people. And then besides that, it was also really having the opportunity to work together more closely with people out in some of the academic and administrative departments who I don't always necessarily have a chance to work with very closely. I think if any of them are watching this video, they will definitely know who I'm referring to. So thank you very much for all of your support and your dedication to making this all happen. Because really, it would have been a lot more of a challenge if it hadn't been for your continued support.
Let's recognize the Biomed Care team. When the call to ramp down research was made in mid-March, the care team stayed on campus and supported over 80 principal investigators with over 130 active research, testing, and teaching projects. They also supported efforts to get life-saving ventilators and supplies to local hospitals at a time when that equipment was in very short supply. Their dedication, commitment, and hard work throughout the pandemic was nothing short of remarkable.
CARE represents the compassionate side of world-leading research, and we have to ensure the welfare of our animals who have no way in which to care for themselves. We have to be here. Blizzards, the pandemic, holidays, we're always here, never nonstop.
We worked as a team incredibly during this pandemic, and we are the voice for the voiceless with the animals here that are cared for at Brown. With our communication and being able to work with the people who were at home, and for the majority of our staff who were here on campus from the beginning, we worked really hard, and I think the animals, if they could talk, would say thank you.
I think despite how challenging the pandemic is, we all came together, worked together, and made it happen. And I think we came out on top. We did what we had to do to keep everything going. And here we are, almost hopefully post-pandemic, and still thriving.
Let's recognize Biomed Stores Operations team. As the president highlighted earlier, this team quickly changed their entire ordering and delivery system under new guidelines and restrictions. The team supported a university initiative to donate much needed PPE to local hospitals and played a critical role in receipt and distribution of PPE on our campus.
I think basically the last year it's been extremely intense. It's been an insane year. But I think what we did is something that we do on a normal basis every day for the university. I think we have a great team, and we just always, no matter what, pull together. And I think that's pretty much what happened this last year.
Next up, the COVID-19 EGAP advisory team. Staff members from the college and campus life managed funds for undergraduates who needed assistance with expenses related to the transition to remote learning. They also provided academic support for students. Thank you for caring and for supporting our students. Okay, I know you all want to know about the Digital Learning and Design Instructional Design team from the Sheridan Center for Teaching and Learning. The instructional design team helped faculty make the switch to online instruction within 2 weeks. From mid-March to the first day of the fall semester, the designers conducted over 700 one-on-one faculty consultations, in addition to group sessions for the departments. Okay, that's amazing.
For me, the most rewarding aspect of supporting Brown instructors was the community that we built together and the conversations that we had around effective practices for online and hybrid learning.
I enjoyed helping the faculty successfully translate their vision for a residential course to an online format.
Witnessing their positive energy and perseverance in the face of such a disruptive change.
Sharing our embarrassing Zoom incidents, whether it's a dog barking or a child running across in the background, I was able to bond with faculty over the fact that we're all human.
Brown instructors reached out to DLD with humility for assistance in assuring their students receive a rigorous and engaging learning experience.
Taking something that was really intimidating or challenging, whatever they came with, and transforming that into something that was much more manageable.
Working in concert with the entire digital learning and design team to create accessible inroads in support of Brown's teaching and learning community.
Also, 2 members from the Environmental Health and Safety team are being recognized. Linda Olmsted and Stephanie Santucci are recognized for their invaluable service to the university. They played critical roles in Brown's multi-pronged, coordinated COVID response and quickly became the go-to resources for information on emerging and constantly evolving safety guidelines and recommendations.
You know, when one of us was struggling with a particular project at a time, we would jump in with each other. We would jump in for each other and we would offer each other help wherever we could.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, you're a great support system that I have. And I know that we're in 2 different areas, but our areas are a lot alike.
Let's talk about the Facilities Management Planning, Design, and Construction team. They were instrumental in preparing campus space for the safe return of our students, faculty, and staff. They developed and implemented de-densification plans for our buildings, helped organize space for a robust COVID testing program, created a new health services annex to treat symptomatic students, and of course, made our campus safer. And a special COVID-19 response team, which included members from University Human Resources and the Workday program team. Thanks to their efforts, working with other individuals and departments, campus-wide testing, contact tracing, and safety training were implemented. They created a new leave of absence, new childcare subsidies, staff voluntary work share, and staff voluntary retirement programs.
When COVID-19 hit, University Human Resources was required to work in a way that we never have in the past. The motivating force behind our work was always the safety of the Brown community. And we couldn't have done this without the support of each team member in University Human Resources. Right, Chantel?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally validating to be the work that my colleagues and I did in lots of ways. We were like building the car while driving the car, and receiving an excellence award really is like a cherry on top, because the real treat was participating in this virtual sense of community and teamwork that we fostered like never before.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And throughout the pandemic, information was coming so fast and was changing so much. It means a lot to be part of a team that could help to hopefully bring some peace of mind to everyone, because the Brown community's well-being was and is our top priority.
Wow, you all did a fabulous job. I want to say congratulations to all our Service Award recipients and Excellence Award winners. Thank you, everyone.
Congrats, everyone.
Congratulations, everyone.
Woo!